Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. The midterm elections are coming up. Jimmy Fallon said that's right. We'll know who gets the House, the Senate, and the upper hand at Thanksgiving. Kimmel, the midterms only a few days away, and 4 secret Herschel Walker abortions away. Fallon, you can tell the midterms are close when the fundraising emails are in all caps. Jimmy, I need $10 now. And Kimmel, the big question for Republicans is when to start claiming fraud. You don't want to go too early because what if you win? You don't want to pull a stop the steal on yourself. Hey, in the middle of his show, James Corden acknowledged that joke that I played for yesterday is Ricky Gervais' joke. Who knew? Corden didn't quite apologize. He said, inadvertently told a brilliant Ricky Gervais joke on the show last night, obviously not knowing it came from him. Time out. Then where the hell do you think it came from? It's brilliant because it's a Ricky Gervais joke. You can watch all Ricky's excellent specials on Netflix. British comedian Mike Cox tweeted a video showing similarities between his own stand-up and a scene from Ricky Gervais' show Afterlife. So is Ricky Gervais a joke thief? Let's dive in. In the video, Cox describes a fat person claiming that their fat saved their life when they were impaled during an accident as the fat protected their organs. The punchline suggested that they wouldn't have gotten hurt in the first place if they weren't so fat. On Afterlife, a large woman describes an accident and Gervais's character delivers a similar punchline. Cox told Newsweek that he was deliberately vague within his own tweet so people could draw their own conclusions and enter into the debate. Sounds like a comedian wanted to self-promote here, and I have taken the bait. Well played, Mr. Cox. Because he continued, personally, I think it's quite unlikely Ricky Gervais has ever seen me at all, let alone do that joke. I think it's just a good example of how similar material can get without being ripped off. Hey, but some self-promotion along the way? Why not? I'm just as guilty because I'm putting Ricky Gervais joke thief ? In the episode title, right? Yeah, we're all guilty. Twitter user John Tudor jumped in to refute Cox's sentiment. John Tudor tweeted, there's many news reports way before your joke where people said fat saved their lives in all kinds of scenarios, and shared an example of such a news story and tagged Ricky Gervais in the post. Ricky replied to both tweets. Ricky tweeted, yes, the one I saw was on a Johnny Vaughn chat show about 30 years ago. From The Sun, Pete Davidson is, quote, taking a break, unquote, from filming his TV show after suffering, quote, major meltdown, unquote, on set. Oh no, Pete, I hope you're doing okay. According to The Sun's report, Pete Davidson has been asked to take a break from filming his new Peacock show Bupkus after suffering an alleged major meltdown on the set. A sources claim that Pete Davidson was asked to take some time away from the set due to recent pressure becoming, quote, too much for him. Last week, a production insider claimed that Pete threw 2 candles through his trailer and damaged a second truck's windshield. He also threw coffee on the walls and broke a TV in half inside his trailer. Wow. Popping over to Gossip Corner, TMZ says, Pete and Kim have moved on. They are not talking. They are not in communication, despite some recent reports. TMZ sources say that Pete Davidson has been reaching out to Kim in light of Kanye's latest shenanigans, but the two have not seen each other or been in communication at all lately. The AV Club reported on the new George Lopez sitcom. It's called Lopez versus Lopez. It's even got a catchphrase. The catchphrase is, there's a right way, and then there's the Lopez way. Boy, you can hear the laugh track going right after that now. Isn't that a great catchphrase? Lopez versus Lopez stars George Lopez and his daughter Mayan Lopez as a fictionalized version of themselves as they rebuild their dysfunctional relationship after years of estrangement. The AV Club says the series is and feels largely autobiographical. Mayan has openly admitted to having a fractured relationship with her father after her parents went through a very public divorce a decade ago before mending their relationship in the early months of the pandemic. On the show, it's only been 6 weeks since fictional George and fictional Mayan have begun to hang out again. George, he's the owner of a moving company who, despite his character having a history of alcoholism, always seems to have a beer in his hand or within reach. He offers to help his daughter renovate her kitchen as a way to bond. Insisting that the 2-hour drive between their homes wastes valuable time and energy, George asks Mayan if he could stay with her until the renovation is complete, when in reality, he's been in financial ruin since the start of the pandemic and has been secretly sleeping in his car. There's a right way, and then there's the Lopez way. So this got me curious. If you're a longtime listener, one of my topics that I'm fascinated with is George Lopez tacos. To catch you up, during the pandemic when nobody's doing anything, George Lopez opened a taco restaurant of sorts. It was one of those, like, I forget what they call them. Were they pop-ups or virtual? Anyway, there was no actual location, but you could go to a website and be like, hey, can you guys deliver me some George Lopez tacos? And then through the magic of the internet, some George Lopez tacos would show up at your house. George did tons of press. Like every day there was a George Lopez tacos article. He was so excited about it. And in the last year, nothing. There's a right way. There's a Lopez way. Today's Daily Comedy News is brought to you by ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN protects you from hackers who try to steal your private information. Plus, you can do cool stuff. Think of a YouTube video you weren't able to watch, a website you couldn't visit, a sports match you weren't unable to stream. ExpressVPN allows you to reroute your connection to a server in a country of your choice, making geo-restrictions a thing of the past. I remember one night I watched Paul McCartney's concert. It was pretty groovy. Fire up the app, connect with just one click. I don't know why you don't want the hookup. An additional 3 months of ExpressVPN for free when you sign up for 1 year using my hookup link. It is expressvpn.com/DCN, expressvpn.com/DCN. And if you don't do it, who knows? Maybe I'm spying on you. I'm not, but maybe I am. You can support the show by going to buymeacoffee.com/Daily Comedy News. You know who did that? Kenny. Kenny's a member. He's got one of those monthly recurring things. Kenny doesn't even have to take action to support the show. He hooked it up, so every month I get $5. I take Kenny's $5, I get in the car, and I go to the National Donuts chain. Now, Kenny wants me to go to that other place with the green cups and everything, but that's like another mile away, Kenny. I'm driving my 7 minutes and back. I'm not going to the green place. Love you, bro, but, it's far. Open one in town. I'll go. So I go to the National Donuts chain, take Kenny's $5, and I go, hey, large iced coffee, caramel milk, and they hand it to me, and then I drink it, then I tell you about it. And you can support the show like Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. Buymeacoffee.com/Daily Comedy News. Also want to thank those of you who have become premium subscribers. The end of the month rolled around and Apple sent me a report and was like, hey, here's some money. You got some new premium subscribers. And I'm like, who are they? And Apple's like, anonymity, bro. I'm not telling you who they are. So whoever you are, thank you. I don't know who you are, so I can't thank you personally. Anonymity, bro. Or ma'am, but a few people have done that. So how does this work? If you become a premium subscriber, that's through Apple Podcasts, you'll get the episodes ad-free and commercial-free. So for example, I'm recording this on Wednesday around 1:45 p.m. in the Eastern time zone, and around 4 o'clock or so, the Thursday episode will have shown up on Wednesday afternoon for the premium subscribers, and they don't get any of those ads. Also, when the weekend rolls around, I usually do the weekend in advance. So on Friday, they'll already have Friday's episode from Thursday afternoon, and they'll get the weekend episodes in advance. See what I'm saying? So you get the episodes early, and they're commercial free. It's $5 a month. You can do the first month as a free trial. And if you don't like it, bail. I'm not offended. So that's on Apple Podcast premium subscriptions or buymeacoffee.com/Daily Comedy News. I saw this on Twitter. When was that? Late Tuesday. Hashtag Trump has died was trending. And I'm like, oh, I better click on this. And I clicked on it. And it was a trend started by comedian Tim Heidecker, who was trying to point out some of the absurdity in Elon Musk's new Twitter policies. I think his point was, hey, I guess it's cool to spread fake news now. So Tim Heidecker tweeted, here's what we know. Trump is dead, parentheses, died badly. 2, at Elon Musk has suppressed the news, or has he? 3, Donald Trump Jr. is now just plain Donald Trump. Please like and share. This was the #1 trending thing around 7 p.m. on Tuesday, and it cracked me up. Amber Ruffin spoke to People magazine about cancel culture. She said, I think sometimes people get canceled because people get bored and they're looking for something to do. I think most of the time people get canceled because that is the consequences for their actions. And you're saying cancel, but that's not true. Ain't nobody being canceled except maybe Kanye. He might be the only one true canceling because, damn, a lot of those people were canceled a minute ago. They're on tour. Louis C.K. on tour. People are fine. And here's an idea somebody had. The Jackie Mason musical. It's the only musical presented by the New York Comedy Festival at Caroline's on Broadway. The festival starts Monday. I'll be talking about that all next week. Only one performance of the Jackie Mason musical, so you don't want to miss it. That one performance of the Jackie Mason musical, Sunday, November 13th. Jackie Mason's daughter, Sheba Mason, stars as her mother and is accompanied by a cast of 8, including a Jackie Mason doppelganger. The Jackie Mason musical with book and music by Ginger Ryder, based on her 10-year romance with comedy legend Jackie Mason, circa Miami Beach, 1977. One of the songs, Ode to the Early Bird Special. All right, you want to know when it is. You forgot already. It's Sunday, November 13th at Caroline's, the Jackie Mason musical. I hear you buying your tickets now. And that is your comedy news for today. You can follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can become a premium subscriber on Apple, as I mentioned. There's also a YouTube audio-only version if you're into that. And don't forget to vote on Tuesday.